What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Costa Titch. I just want to send a huge shout out to TMC Media,
Australia's largest independent music video platform. But you knew that? Big shout out to TMC Media.
Keep watching TMC and don't touch it.
We are in Melbourne right now. You're watching TMC Media. Afrobeat in Melbourne, #1. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Justine Malone from TMC Media, sitting here today virally with Laycon, who is coming to us from Nigeria in Lagos, and I'm currently based in Melbourne. So hi, Laycon. Thank you so much for jumping online with us. I know you're really busy and you're dropping some music. So yeah, welcome to the online show.
Hi, Justin. Shout outs to you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Great. Awesome. And hopefully you'll be in Australia one day and we can do this again.
Definitely soon.
So what are you up to today at the moment? You said that you have been working on...
Okay, so I've had like 3 meetings today. One is to look over numbers, finances, and two is to, I had a conversation with somebody from a big company that I'm supposed to partner with soon. And then I got off another one with like a director. That was why I kind of came late for the...
Okay. That sounds really exciting. So what was that about?
Yeah. Okay, so like I said, the whole of 2022, I took a break from music. From 2021, December, I started the journey of getting a master's degree in Portsmouth. And so I wrapped that up around March 2023. So I'm like done. Yay. My graduation is July.
So did you take a break from music because you were studying? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I took a break from music because I was studying. But while studying for school, I also decided to just take an inward look at what I want to do outside music eventually, and even in music. Because then I learned a lot about the corporate part of music, the music business part. I decided to actually also learn about that. And so now I'm like, me coming back now, it's more different for me because I'm not seeing it just as an artist alone. Now I'm looking at it as a music exec, as a music business person also. I'm looking at what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it. And I'm being more hands-on with the planning and the marketing and everything behind the creative process.
Yeah.
Of the music.
Let's talk about music as a business. So you've obviously established the fact that yes, you love your music and you're singing, but there are so many more layers to it. So, let's dive into that. What's the main part of running a music business that you need to be aware of?
As an artist or as a music business? Exactly.
As a music business, I'm interested to hear. Like when
well, let's not do that because this interview is for Laycon, the artist.
Yes,
so let's talk
Laycon, the artist. But you are an artist who is very smart, and you understand that you are not just making music and letting other people run your show. Like you're part of running your own show. So
exactly. I am.
Yeah. So is there strategy in what you're doing?
Yes, definitely. There has to be strategy. Yeah, there has to be strategy because eventually me being away for a while made me realize that we have to actually look at it's like normal corporate companies, corporate organizations. When you have a product that you're selling and you've sold for the past 1 year, it was successful, and then you look at where is the highest sales coming from? Where are the larger audience coming from? Where do we need to focus on more? What kind of product did they like here? What kind of product did they like there? And now in terms of music, you look at, I released a 12-track album. Where did this particular track do more numbers? On which platform? Why? Who are the people that listen to music on Apple Music? Who are the people that listen on Spotify? Who are the people that listen on Deezer? Why do they like this kind of song? What sound is this? So now you cater more to that sound. It helps in the creative process It also helps in the marketing. So you know where your marketing is going, why the marketing is going there, where is more revenues coming from.
Yeah.
You factor all this in when you're marketing. You also have to factor all this in when you're creating music, kind of like you have to create a body of work that would appeal to the audiences that you already have, and that would also amass new audiences from different places. So, I mean, you think about, you have all this knowledge and then you go into the studio, it kind of like helps you to navigate. Well, it has its upsides and its downside, but basically helps you overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're now seeing it from a different perspective. You're seeing it from the perspective of the investors also now. You're not just seeing it from the perspective of the creator anymore.
Yeah. And do you think having such an insight over all of that business, guiding you with the marketing, the target audience, the channels, what songs do well, do you think it sort of almost guides your creativity in an inauthentic way, though? You know,
that's why I said it has its upsides and its downside. Because while you're creating music, you're supposed to create, you're supposed to feel, not think. You're supposed to feel. Just let the emotion go. So, which is why, while I'm creating, I normally just do something. Sometimes I create alone, but these days I work with songwriters a lot, and that also removes the me overthinking part. So I work with songwriters a lot, and then when I'm creating music, there's something I do where I block my mind of every rationality that comes with overthinking about music. I just block my mind of it and just go with what I feel. When I start thinking about the music, when I start thinking about the music, I leave it. I don't create anymore. Then you're not creating, you're thinking about what people will like. That's not how to make music anymore.
Yeah.
So that happens. It's time, especially when your brain thinks a lot about things, as my brain does. I mean, I'm a creative, but I'm still a very logical person, and sometimes it's clashes, where you just have to find a way to make sure it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
They say, I've heard this phrase or something, is that if you're like a certain personality type, and you're quite intuitive and you feel your life, if you ask that kind of person a question, somebody who is quite creative, and you give if you think about it too long, your brain overtakes your intuition. So, and then you can't get back. So the logic almost the feel.
Yeah.
So when
I also write for people, because I also started writing for people all through last year. When I wasn't putting out my own music, I was writing for people. So what I always tell them when we're creating music is, don't think about it. If you start thinking about it. I write for myself. Yeah, I write for myself as well. I write for people too. I mean, so the whole of 2022, I was just roaming in different aspects of my life.
Yeah.
While I was going for vocal lessons, I was also writing for people. I was going for classes in school. I was reading about music business online. I was reading about, so it's just me just expanding my horizon and expanding my knowledge. Because I feel like me coming back now is not coming back just as an artist. It's just as an individual who now has more knowledge about what I'm doing and how it is being done by different people from different perspectives.
You gave your time room to grow.
Yes.
And what did you discover about yourself in that year that really changed your perspective on life?
I mean, it's the fact that apart from work, because what I really realized is, as an artist on the road, working, putting out music, performing and everything, you don't have time to think about yourself personally. Yeah. But that personality actually influences the music. So when you grow this way as a person, it influences your music. What I discovered about myself and what I've actually now cultivated is I'm not scared to actually fail anymore.
And to be
I'm not scared. Yeah, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of failure anymore. I'm not scared of, because the truth is this, is I read about people who've succeeded in everything, and it's just, they failed a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I'm more comfortable when I'm on my toes, when I'm trying to work about something, when I'm trying to work with. when I have a plan that I'm trying to achieve, I feel more comfortable. But when I don't have something that I'm trying to achieve, I feel uncomfortable because now I'm trying to find myself in uncomfortable situations because the discomfort makes me comfortable. Because that's how you grow, really.
Yeah,
being uncomfortable.
you always grow when you're on the edge of your comfort zone. You kind of start to grow.
That's how you stretch.
All right. Well, speaking of growing, tell me a little bit about your past, little Laycon. Where did you grow up? And,
Yeah, I grew up in Lagos. I'm Lagos. So that's why my most recent release is titled LOL. LOL. That's Laycon of Lagos.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Lagos. I was born in Lagos. I schooled in Lagos. I've been in Lagos all my life, except for when I traveled, obviously. But Lagos is my home base. So, I mean, ever since, and concerning music, really, I've always wanted to do music. I've always, like, every of my decision in my life has always been because of music. Every important decision I made in my life, the reason why I decided to school in Lagos was because of music. Yeah. I rejected an opportunity to go London to go play football because of music.
Yeah.
I decided to wait at home, even getting university offers from other states. I decided to be in Lagos and just wait out till I got an offer from a university in Lagos because of music, because I felt like Lagos is where I would be able to push my music.
So when did that drive, desire, when did that drive and that desire to be with music and follow it, where did that start?
Ever since I can remember, to be honest, because I started, music was fun. Music has always been fun for me, which was another reason why I took a break. It stopped being fun. Music was fun. It's always been fun for me. So ever since I was little, I always loved singing. I just listened to people's music and I just want to sing it. I didn't think about creating mine up until maybe when I was like 13. I started thinking, I could actually just exchange these people's lyrics for mine. I still use their flows and their rhythm, but I just change. And that was when I started writing music. And when I started singing, I started putting out music was like 2012. So I started putting out music and when I got into the university. But my first major project was 2016, Young, Black and Gifted EP. Okay. It was nice. It was actually, it was influenced. What did you say?
Say nice. It's like, where is the?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It was influenced because when you look at the way music is now, I mean, for my age and for the influences, because it was a conscious project. It was influenced by Kendrick Lamar. So you have an idea how it was going to be. I put out Fierce, but the song was quite popular than I was. So I go for shows and people sing the song, but they don't know who I am. So they're like, oh, you sang this song. That's nice. Cool. So fast forward 2020, before lockdown, I had a plan to put out the project, Who is Laycon? Because since they say they don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. That's Who is Laycon? I am Laycon, that kind of thing. So we put out the project and lockdown came.
Yeah.
That was devastating for me because I couldn't find any way to promote the project physically because we all had to be at home. And there wasn't enough resources to do the marketing online. So I decided to go for Big Brother.
You went for Big Brother?
Yeah, I went to the show to promote my music because I felt like, everybody would be at home watching the show. So what a better way to go there and say you're an artist. So they listen to your music while they watch you on TV. And that was it. I planned to be there for two weeks. I like in 2 weeks, it will be enough for me to tell them about my music, and then they'll vote for me to leave the house. Yeah. But first week, I was there. Second week, there. Third week, fourth week, fifth week, sixth week, seventh week, eighth week, ninth week, and then we were 5. And in my head, I'm like, why am I still here?
I cannot believe I haven't seen any of this. I'm going to have to watch it now.
Yeah, and there were 5 from 20 people. Then there were 5, and the final day, they evicted the 5th person, the 4th person, the 3rd person, and then we were 2. And in my mind, it still wasn't. I still wasn't connecting with it. Like, well, okay, so really, 2 weeks to the final day, and now we are 2. What exactly is going on? So I thought I was going to win. I was like, I thought I was going to come second. So I was like, certainly, this other person will come first, because you needed to see the gown, the outfit that they brought for her. It was so glamorous. Oh. And I was like, this is awesome. I was so happy because in my mind, I just wanted to leave and get back to making music. As you've been somewhere for 10 weeks. Like, I didn't care.
10 weeks.
I didn't care. I just wanted to leave and go back to making music. And then on stage, he said, the winner is Laycon.
I feel really bad that I didn't research you and realize this. Like, I should have dug.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
I do like to hear stories fresh, though, because then my reaction is authentic rather than, so tell me about winning Big Brother. Got my.
It was crazy, but I mean, I won the show, and then I came out and it was back to music. Then I put out music. I've been putting out music from 2020 September up till like 2021. We put out 2 projects in 2021. There was a lot of activity in 2021, which I didn't play the big part in a lot of things that happened in 2021. So big shout outs to Richard and big shout outs to everybody that played a huge part in my progress from when I got to the house up till now. But I mean, at the end of 2020, what did you say?
Being in the house definitely shone a light on, like, allowed people to notice you, so to be able to hear you.
Yeah, definitely. The streams went off the charts.
Yeah.
The music started popping everywhere. Everybody wanted to listen to the music, and everybody were asking, oh, yo, this is Laycon. Oh, yeah. So it was great. It was great. It was awesome. And then I have a family, a core fan base that they would ride or die for me. And they're like an army of people, individuals, different places in the world. And all I just need to do is say, hey, we have to do this thing. And they will all come together and they will get it done. And they're called the Icons.
Okay.
That's my family. That's my fan base. You come to Nigeria and see Icons. They know who you're talking about. They know the people you're talking about. They know it's me. They know it's my people. So, I mean, it's great that I got those fan base off going on a Big Brother show. And now they're like a core music fan base, and they go out, they have stream parties. They make sure that the songs are in the charts. They make sure that the videos are trending. They make sure that the names are trending. They put everything all up in your face online, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. You find them pushing anything that I put out. So, I mean, it's made the music, it's made the music move a lot further. It's expanded the listening ears. It's given more opportunities and more chances for me to grow. Yeah, from the icons, from the fans, it makes everything easier. And it's been awesome. But I mean, towards the end of 2021, we had a concert in 2021, December, and we sold out a 6,000 capacity hall. That's in a hotel, the Icons Fest. That was massive. And that kind of like capped off the successful year for me, 2021. But then I went on a UK tour in 2021. So it was in the UK tour that I had a reflective process. I had time alone by myself, and I just said, what do I want to do next? I mean, I'm still going to continue doing music, but right now there's a lot of negative energy in the music space because I blew off a reality show. And so then they feel like, there's a lot of people who feel like I didn't go in through the normal process. I haven't paid my dues. I haven't earned the right to be called a music superstar. And
so you came off the back of a reality show. If your music didn't sound good, you wouldn't have fans. So everybody.
So the logic to them is the people who think my music sound good don't have good music taste.
Okay. So how do you deal with the haters, as in yourself personally? How do you stop that from really affecting you?
I mean, it affected me. That was why I took a break. I'm not going to sit here and say it didn't affect me. I mean, for a while, I thought I was doing well and I was persevering and I was making sure that it didn't affect me. But it got to me because after you do a show, 6,000 people come into your concerts and there wasn't enough space for other people to come in. The same day that a big artist is doing the same show, obviously you would think you've earned the right to say, yes, I can finally say. But I mean, it's still the same thing. It's just it's a thing where you know that people will see you in person and they're laughing with you, and then behind your back they're saying things about you. They're trying to make sure that people don't listen to you or people don't give you any opportunity to grow as an artist. So I'm just like, you know what? There's a lot more to it than just this. I need to sit back and see what I want to do. It's just really, music stopped being enjoyable for me anymore. So I took that time off. I went to improve myself as an artist. Because I mean, yeah, I know I have a lot of improving to do as an artist, but I'm not that bad. Come on. I've had over 50 million streams. No music that is that bad would have over 50 million streams, for crying out loud. I mean, I've had interviews with multiple people. I have multiple streams from outside Nigeria, both the rap, both the singing, and we're doing numbers. I was on Triller Billboard charts worldwide. I was number 3. If the music is that bad, why is it doing those kind of numbers? I mean, so it was me not acknowledging I wasn't acknowledging the positives. I was focusing on the negatives because I felt like I needed to be accepted by this set of people. But right now, I mean, I just went back and I reflected and I'm like, you know what? All through this process of me going to school and then figuring out what I wanted to do music-wise, it's important to not shy away from the fact that I went to Big Brother. Yes, I did. Oh. I blew off the show. Yes. It was a means for me, and I'm not going to erase that out of my life anymore. I'm not going to try and appeal to some certain people who, regardless of what I do, would always say it's not good enough. And there's no point really trying to help or trying to appeal to their case. I have few people who love me, who care about what I do. I move with them. We'll grow with them together regardless. You see those ones who don't want to listen, it's fine. Because I still go online and I see people badmouth Drake. I still go online and see people badmouth Nicki. I still go online and see people badmouth J. Cole. I still go online and see people badmouth Wizkid. See people badmouth Davido. See people badmouth Burna.
Yeah,
I mean, it's insane to think that if those people can have people saying, nah, their music isn't good enough, who am I? Yeah. To have everybody saying they love my music. I mean, then it's fine. There's always going to be people who don't like your music, who don't like how you came up. But as long as you put in the work, what I've realized is hard work pays off. And the crazy thing about hard work is if you're trying to execute something negative, if you work hard towards executing something negative, you will kind of succeed because you worked hard. That's the thing about hard work. Hard work doesn't care if what you're trying to do is good or bad, but you put in the work, you see the results. And so I just have to put in the work.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing the past few years, learning about music, because regardless, I know music execs that are trying to say, oh, Laycon can't do this because it came from Big Brother. I've heard it. I've heard voice notes. I've heard phone calls. I've seen messages. No, they don't say it to my face, but and I'm like, okay, cool. It's fine then. I just go and learn all these things, and I have more knowledge than I did a year ago. And now I can see how I can move forward from now. So if I say go and represent me in a boardroom, sit down with investors and talk on my behalf, I can do that. I can go and talk on my own behalf. You would see me talk to investors. I started talking to investors. I had a meeting with an investor before I'm having this interview. So it's a different thing for me now. Now it's just you go there and pitch something better than what I can pitch about myself, because you're representing somebody, but I'm representing myself now. I mean, I have a team, but it's better. It's also more interesting when I know what we want together, and I can also impute. I can also see from my perspective. I can see from your perspective. It just helps everything move easier. And that's all through these processes. I've been recording my album, and my album is ready. So off of the album is where I dropped 2 singles 2 days ago. The first one is titled Shine. The second one is titled Laycon of Lagos, LOL. And I would say I started enjoying music again when I saw how I've grown as an artist, and not just the creative part alone. Now, a lot of things are coming together, and it's just making me enjoy the process of creating music more. So that's the best part for me now, trying to find the right melody, the right words, the right lyrics, the right sound. Because I can record myself now. I can lay tracks. I never knew how to do all these things before, but now I just learned a lot of new things. So now I can sit down, record myself. I called back a lot of features. I recorded them. I sent them back. We were blown away. Like, now people ask the question, wait, this is you singing. This is you rapping. This is you singing this way. This is you doing this backup vocals. This is you telling the producer to say, oh, put this sound in. I can probably produce a song now. I don't know how to make beats, but I can direct. I know how to direct how a song should sound, because I've learned all those things in the past 1 year. I know there's a lot of room to grow, and I'm actually looking forward to growing, because this is the exciting part for me.
There's a lot packed into what you said, and what I take out from it is, you had to overcome a lot of insecurity, and you've almost sort of grown from it and built this confidence. And you almost remind yourself every single day what you have achieved, what you can achieve. You can tell in the way you speak that you have confidence in what you're doing. So with that confidence allows you to step forward in what you're doing. And
yes, definitely.
Yeah, and you had a lot of haters coming off the back of a reality show. So some artists get pulled up on stage, or some artists get a post up on their Instagram. So everybody that I've realized, everybody that I've interviewed so far, there's always is a moment of the spotlight on them, and it just draws just enough attention to the artist to give them their voice to be heard. So yes, you were on Big Brother. I didn't watch you on Big Brother, but I heard your music elsewhere, and I think it's really good. So, I wouldn't think, oh, it's just great because he was on Big Brother.
Exactly.
And we were speaking before about, the Afrobeats movement is growing so rapidly, and there's just so many great artists coming out. It's so easy to record. It's so easy to get online. Is it truly a unified growth, or is there, like, behind the scenes, is there a little bit of not challenges, I guess conflict in a way, because there's so many artists that are trying to be heard now in this genre that is becoming so big in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an analogy from like a corporate setting. So it's like you've got a proposal for to fix, let's say, you've got a proposal to distribute something to, let's say you distribute the uniform for the military. That's a particular company does that. So when you're submitting proposals, a lot of people are submitting proposals to get that project. So what people start trying to do now is lobbying to be the ones to get the slots or get the project. Now take that into music. It's the same thing. You've got limited slots for artists that are performing in Coachella, apart from the fact that Coachella wants Burna Boy.
Yeah.
There's now 3 other slots for different artists. Now, somebody knows somebody in Coachella, and that person says, I want this guy, and that guy. And then now somebody who knows a higher person in Coachella now says, nah, you can't use that one. That one came from Big Brother.
Okay.
What do you think is going to happen? That name gets bumped off the list. Definitely. So it does happen. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, it's a community. Everybody's happy. Kumbaya, kumbaya. No, maybe that's happening on the surface, but like every other industry, there's this form of conflict of who's going to get this opportunity or that opportunity, regardless of how dope your music sounds. And then again, using the charts as a benchmark for successful music, it kind of like, you don't need to have a great song to be on top of the charts, is what I've realized. There's some of the music I love. Like I listen to, what did you say?
Do you think it's more who you know rather than the sound?
No, for the charts? No, not for the charts. But I'm just saying people can love a song and it gets to the charts. And people can still not like a song and it still gets to the charts because it's a weird thing that I've come to realize in music, because there's a lot of things going on in the background that affects how people see a song, or a song that gets bumped in the charts, or the song that a lot of people. So because you're on the charts, you get more visibility, right? And it automatically makes the song big, regardless of if the song is great or not. And now a lot of artists, So now a lot of artists are creating music for the charts. So it's not what do I feel? What do I feel and how do I communicate that in my art?
Yeah, is that then being honest to who you are as an artist? So it's now being honest, appealing to the industry. Really, it's appealing to the industry now, not appealing to yourself now. Which kind of songs are going? Because I do have these conversations with labels and A&Rs, and what they say is, this is the kind of sound that people are listening to now. Yeah. So you have to create music that fits into this bucket. How do you feel when you have to create music that fits into that? Because artists,
obviously, you feel like you've been given an assignment.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like you're creating music that you want to create anymore. It feels like you're creating music for a purpose, which is why I said, now me from the perspective of a music executive, you see that this is why you're creating this music, because for the numbers, this is what will work. So you go and create this kind of music and we put it in this kind of region and we put this so amount of money in it. Trust me, you're going to get what you want. And it does happen over time. It does happen because it's a pattern. But still, where being an artist comes in is the fact that you can now find a way to immerse that pattern or that template. You can find a way to make yourself, put a part of yourself into that template. It never takes away from you as a creative, regardless of whether somebody comes and says, do a song that sounds like Michael Jackson. It's never going to sound like Michael Jackson. It's always going to sound like you, because you find a way to put yourself in that music. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of making music as an artist, because there's always a part of you living with every song that you create. And that's how I've come to view music now. So regardless of, there's always going to be people connecting with your music, because you're not going through your experience alone. So you now need to know how you measure your own growth and your fulfillment. Is it from the number one song in the world? Or is it from touching people's lives? Or is it in the fact that in the next 10 years, somebody who is down, sad, will listen to your song and they'll be uplifted and they'll be happy, even though the song didn't get to number one? Do you understand me? So it's the same thing with awards. Are you going to say because you didn't make an award, you didn't get an award, you don't feel happy or fulfilled as an artist? That's the most important thing, because you're creating memories, you're creating experiences to help and connect with people. So are people connecting with you? Can people listen to what you say and say, I feel that. I feel that way too sometimes. I get sad too sometimes. I feel heartbroken sometimes. I am happy sometimes. I feel insecure sometimes when people tell me that what I'm doing is not right. If I sing my song about my experience, do you think there are millions of people in the world that will be like, I've been in that position before where everything I do doesn't seem to be good enough to other people? I think that's what music is. That's what any form of art is, really. Music is quite powerful because you talk about an experience and millions of people are connecting with it. So I feel like the music business, yeah, there's that side. Well, as an artist that's experiencing both sides now, I feel like music is so powerful that it shouldn't be tampered with in the way it's being tampered with. But regardless, that's the way life is. And
music has been since sheet music was first being sold. It's been stolen and corrupt.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to a video about Prince when Prince was fighting with Warner in the early 90s, because Warner was giving Madonna something, or giving Michael Jackson something, and Prince wanted the same thing. So he actually delved into the music business, learned about it, and then he came back to Warner and said, nah, you're not going to do me this way. But I feel like, so if it's been that way from then, it's still the same way now, it's more advanced now. I just feel like you as an artist, you just need to know where, because one person isn't going to change everything at once. It's a process. And so you just need to know where you'd pick your battle, fight it, and win for yourself and for other people.
And so what do you think desperately needs to change in the music industry and needs to happen fast?
My perspective, like I said, you pick your battles and you fight it. So the battle I'm picking is not, I'm not picking the battle of fighting for everybody. I'm not Jesus. I'm not saving the whole world. I'm not saving the artist. I need saving myself. I am fighting for myself right now. When I'm in a position where my fight now starts touching other people's lives, it happens seamlessly. You're not even going to know before you start affecting other people. I know a lot of people now. I know a lot of artists now that feel like if I go for Big Brother, I will be heard. And now, off of that, there's new people coming from Big Brother. There's a guy, Brian. Brian is so good. I like his music. And I feel like he's going to be like a superstar. I think he is. And he came off Big Brother. But the same thing that I've experienced, he's probably going to experience it. Maybe not as much, because obviously the people who are in front, they kind of like paved the way and makes it easier for other people. But I know that through his actions, it would also pave the way for other people. So now I'm in a space where that's just what I'm thinking of. How can I use my power now to pave the way for the people coming behind from the reality show? Not come and deal with the problems that I believe that other people have the power. The power that I have is to make sure that any other artist that comes from a reality show, nobody looks at them and devalue their efforts, devalue the work that they put in, devalue their music and say it's not great because they went on the show. That doesn't make sense. That's why I'm here talking to you about Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely seems to have, like, it gave you a platform, but it has definitely seemed to have affected you in the way that you look at the music industry. It made a realistic look of it. And yeah, kind of to take it a little bit differently, like maybe look at it a little bit more like a business. You were forced to be a bit more strategic with how you present yourself as an artist.
Yes. I mean, yes. And to me, it's me in an uncomfortable place. And
do you have a lot of like true, honest, soulful support around you constantly to help?
Yes, definitely. definitely. It's why I'm able to come to these conclusions, not just by myself, but by my conversations with people, by my conversations with people around me and my team. And my team is quite a closed circle, and we're actually tightly close. I've been working with my manager for almost 10 years.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
and for me, it's just this next project that's coming out. It's
Can you tell us anything about it? Is it a tour, a collab, a movie? Like what?
no, it's an album. It's a music album. It's a music album.
Are there some other albums?
What did you say?
Are there other artists on the album with you?
Did I know I removed, what I can say is I removed a lot of people's verses. I removed a lot of features of the project. I removed a lot of features of the project. And that's the same.
Is got potentially all the biggest artists from around the world on it?
No, it doesn't have any biggest artists around the world.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, like you can, I believe you can tell from my experience now that I've moved past that stage where I feel like I need to have somebody somewhere on a song for the song to be impactful.
So how do you
if I feel
collaboration with other artists now?
I mean, now I'm being featured more than I'm featuring people. Weirdly enough, I'm being featured. I've had 2 features this year. There's another feature dropping next week with Kele Chief. Kele Chief is an ATL rapper. There's another feature dropped with him. And I know that I'm on 2 projects that are supposed to drop later this year from different Nigerian artists. I know that I wrote a couple of songs that are also going to come out soon. So weirdly enough, for me, turning my back on trying to ask people for features when all they're just going to do is, oh, you came from Big Brother, so we don't want to treat you this. Yeah. I just stopped doing that. And then now other people have started approaching me for features. That's weird. That's the weird thing about life. Yeah. Weird dynamic. But I'm happy with where I'm at as an artist. And I'm really excited about this next project coming. I'm not excited in the sense that, oh, I feel like people are going to finally say, yeah, is good. No, that's not the excitement that I have. I'm just excited to share the music that I created during one of the toughest and hardest period of my life. And that was last year. Mentally for me was really hard. And I was still creating music during that period. Not because in my head, this music was never going out. I was just creating them to pass through this phase. But then people listen to them and they're like, nah, you have to put out this music. And so we have 50 songs 50 to choose from.
I mean,
yeah.
I'll interrupt you. You know, you've been talking about it was one of the hardest years. What did you do to try and get out of it? So, you know, was it like daily rituals? Was it sort of counseling? How did you pick yourself out of that? Because you would have been getting a lot of negativity online and, you know, taking a whole...
Yeah, like, where is Laycon? Laycon is no longer doing music, or Laycon is no longer doing this. Yeah, we're apart. Like I said, I created music.
Okay.
And also, while we're discussing music, I launched a tech company with MI. Okay. I launched a tech company for discovering artists last year. I also launched my foundation last year. So it wasn't really.
Okay. So you said
I immersed myself in a lot of other things.
Yeah, I guess that helps you realize that your entire life wasn't music, and so even if it brought you joy,
thank you, yeah,
it brought a lot of negativity in that year. You refocused for a while, and now you come back.
Yeah,
realize
I got my degree. So I did all that, but this is why it's always been music, and I think it would always be music. Everything like it was a journey, and I decided I'm not going towards music anymore for now. Let me go somewhere else. And when I did all these things, it ultimately led me back to music.
And
because
control over it.
Yeah, but it's a different perspective because I've experienced a whole lot of other things and I've seen things from different perspective. And for the music part, I honestly, most of the songs, while I'm excited about them, is because the process of the song selection was one of the most, I detached myself from the song selection process. I just sent out the links and people listened. And it was like from 50 songs, we had 20 something songs to choose from. And then I recorded some new set of songs, and then we were bumped back to like 35 something, and we had to cut them down again up to like 30.
Yeah, cutting down 50 songs to 35 and 20. What is it in a song that you look for to help you cut it down?
So like I said, do you remember that I said I detached myself? Now, because of there's the template of music out there now, there's this type of sound that people are listening to. This is what people will like. I didn't want to be caught up in that process because I was enjoying the creation part of the music so much. And I did finally realize attaching myself to one song or 3 songs or 4 songs. Why am I doing that? It's like, yeah, you have kids. And then you're sending the kids out to the world. You want them to do well, but you're never going to say this kid has to go out and this kid has to stay. So for me, I sent the link, the label, the A&Rs they chose. Okay. They said, oh, these are the songs. I said, those are the songs? Said, yes. Okay, fine. I created all the songs anyway. So if you say no to this, it's my song. If you say yes to this, it's my song. Now, that's what I realized, because from you guys' perspective, you feel this is what people would love. Fine. Let's give the people what they would love. But I always tell, I said the best songs are in the hard drive. Your best song ever that you will ever create as a creative, they're always unreleased. You're never going to release them because somebody somewhere thinks people will not love them.
Mm. So would you ever just release it just silently and let it leak out there?
I think you would never, because you overthink about it too much. You think about it too much. It reminds me of Ray Charles. Ray Charles released a song while he had a 30-minute set and he prepared for 25 minutes. So the 5 remaining minutes, he had to improvise right there on the spot. That was his first #1 song ever. The improvisation song, Ray Charles. I don't remember the name of the song.
How was it?
But his first number. Yeah, it was an improvisation. Yeah, it was. He improvised right there. They said, you can't leave yet. Your set is for 30 minutes. He said, oh, what? But we prepared for 25 minutes. I said, I don't know. You got to figure something out. And right then and there, he started singing a new song, and his people, the backup singers and everybody else playing with him. I mean, there's a synergy. So they were just going with what he was doing. That was his first #1 hit.
Just felt it.
I'd say.
So that's where you see that music, you're not supposed to think about music too much. You're not supposed to think about, it's an emotion, you're feeling it. So when you release feeling, people connect to the feeling. But as a music exec, I'm not going to let you sing a song and then put out the song because you feel it. I am putting money in. So you have to strategize and know what people want and give the release the highest chance of it being successful. That is why I feel like the best songs are in your hard drive, but we will never know.
Oh, I've got it.
What I'd say.
The song, it was called What I'd Say by Ray Charles. We're going to listen to that.
Accidentally
improvised it.
So yeah, you watched this Jamie Foxx movie. That's where you say it.
So, you've given us such a beautiful overview of, as I said at the beginning of the interview, I wanted to talk about business and music. And you really have touched on a lot of those points, disconnecting yourself a little bit from the song choice, leaving it up to the experts. Like not, I mean, you can put your whole into music, but it's okay to refresh and relook at other
Yes,
things.
definitely. It helps you. It helps you personally as a person, because eventually,
you've overcome them. You seem really sure about where the business is going and you as a brand. It's been really good to kind of really cover it with this.
yeah. So concerning the overcoming, I mean, so I wouldn't say I've overcome them per se, because they're always going to be there.
Yes.
But what I'm ready to do, what I'm prepared to do now is I'm prepared to move regardless. Like, that's never going to make me feel inadequate anymore.
Yeah.
It actually did make me feel inadequate. But right now I see it because, like I said, I'm no longer scared of failing. And it's the fear of failure.
When you release fear, so much lighter and empowered, and you can just take that next step forward. So in anything in life, just releasing fear. So
because it's the fear of being inadequate that makes you try to impress people, that makes you try to make people want to say you are adequate. Why do you need validation from people, really? Okay, I am inadequate. Can I continue?
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's okay to be you. Just release any fears that come to you, because fear just holds us back. It's you have to live on the edge of your comfort zone, and then
exactly.
So,
and because it's life, I feel like most people prepare to leave. You prepare to leave all your life. You prepare. You say, when you're done with this, you start doing this. When you're done with this, you start doing this. Or when I have all the money, I start traveling the world. That's like, leave now. You're preparing to leave while you're leaving. So just focus on leaving. Live your life. And that's what I kind of like realized also, that I've been preparing to leave, but right now I just want to leave. Yeah. I'm not waiting for something to happen before I do one. I'm not waiting for somebody to say the song is nice anymore. I've put the song out there. It's touching people's lives. I'm moving on to the next thing I want to do.
And you think, what is the worst thing that could happen? And then you name the worst thing.
Exactly.
Never that bad. You put a song out there, what's the worst thing that happened? People don't like it, they don't listen to it. Why?
I used it. But the crazy thing is, when you have that kind of perspective, that what's the worst that can happen? It's a great perspective, because the worst thing that can happen is people will say it's not nice. Yeah. Okay, the opposite of the worst thing is the best thing. Everybody says it's nice. But one thing would always happen after each of these two sides. You still create new music, because you're not going to rest.
Exactly.
You will still want to put out another music. So just keep doing it. That's the whole thing. Beyonce is still going to put out a new song. She's still going to work on the song. Yeah. That's an artist. Regardless of whether they like the song or not, you still put out a new one. So just keep doing it.
All right. Well, as I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to all the information, the juicy information that you have had on the industry in your journey. It is very different to others that I've heard so far. I feel like, there's hours, many, many more hours in here. But we do need to wrap it up. And I'm going to ask you just to lighten the mood a bit. I'm just going to ask you just a few quick questions, and I just want you to answer without overthinking them. So are you ready?
Okay.
All right. What time of day do you usually wake up?
Do I wake up morning? Morning, obviously morning.
Do you have an alarm?
I don't have an alarm. I feel like my brain is an alarm. Regardless, I never wake up past 9 a.m. Regardless of when I go to bed, because I go to bed late. I watch NBA, so I'm like up till like 4 sometimes. But regardless, I never wake up past 9 a.m.
And what do you have for breakfast? What's your go-to?
Oh, I'm not a breakfast person. No? I haven't had breakfast today. Yeah, it's like 2 p.m. and I haven't had anything today.
What's your favorite meal?
Rice. That has to be rice. That's the easiest to get to. Rice.
Do you go to the gym?
Yes.
How often?
Not very often.
I love the
That's something I need to work on.
same.
I need to work on
I keep running, and I'm like, I should start exercising. A couple more. What can I come up with? Have you ever been in love?
Yes, I have. I've been heartbroken too.
What happened?
Yeah, and then I got heartbroken.
What happened?
Yeah, well,
Someone to write a story. Tell us about your heartbreak.
okay, well, I put it in a song actually. There's a song, Angry Birds.
Was
That's
that
the name of the
before the show, Angry Birds?
It was after the show. I put out, it was in my second album in 2021, Angry Bird, because I got heartbroken while I was recording my first album, Shall We Begin. So there's a song on Shall We Begin, All Over Me, which was the song I performed for Grammy's Press Play at Home. That was the song about my heartbreak. And then Angry Birds was a song about my heartbreak.
Oh.
I mean, now there's no broken hearts anymore, but there's still the fear of letting myself be with somebody again. So
that is hard. Yeah.
I'm staying away from relationships for now.
Aw, it's hard when you get heartbroken and it stops you from opening up again. One day,
Yes.
a woman will come into your life and you will be able to trust her. So there you go. And your heart will warm and you can open it up again.
Yeah, hopefully it happens.
I will come up with a couple more quick random questions. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Germany.
Do you like the sea or lake? The ocean or a river? Like freshwater or saltwater?
I don't like water. I can't swim.
You don't like water. Fair enough. Okay. So,
I can't swim.
and one last random question. If you could be stuck on an island with any other artist for a whole week, who would it be?
If I could be stuck on an island with any other artist
For 1 week.
for a whole week, dead or alive?
Oh yeah, I was thinking like a dead person next to you. I don't want that. I was like, that's morbid.
Well, like the artist, is the artist dead or alive?
You can bring them back to life for that 1 week. Yes.
Oh my God, not just one. Do I have to pick one? Can I pick like
First
two?
person that comes to your head.
Right now I'm thinking Jay-Z.
Oh, well, thank God he's still alive.
Well, if I had to go with somebody that's not alive, I would say James Brown.
All right. Well, Jay-Z, you've got a chance with Laycon on an island, and James Brown will try and resurrect him.
Yeah. Well, I saw a funny video and I made a TikTok of it where they said $500,000 or a dinner with Jay-Z. And Jay-Z said, my first advice to you would be next time, take the $500,000.
You're going to get dinner with me. Oh, no.
Because you're not going to get money from talking to me.
No.
And the most important thing is money. So take the money.
What are you going to get from having a dinner with Jay-Z? I'll take the money.
No, I will take the money too. I will take the money.
Sorry, Jay-Z. Island getaway with Laycon. No dinner.
If I.
No. Well, before we will have to end this interview soon, but before we do, is there any advice you'd like to give to younger artists or anything else that you'd like to add?
Advice to younger artists. I mean, don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself in this whole process. It's hard. Getting in is hard. Staying in is harder.
Yeah.
So you need to work hard. You need to work hard and you need to believe in yourself. But most importantly, don't lose yourself trying to fit in. Stand out. Just be yourself and don't lose yourself trying to fit in.
Be yourself to be happy.
Yeah.
100%.
You may not seem like everything is rosy, but trust me, when it clicks, there's no going back. And it's just there. It's like everything you've worked for, it starts manifesting.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much again for your time and your wealth of information here. I've really appreciated it. So yeah, I'm Justine Malone with Team C Media and just had a great interview with Laycon all the way from Nigeria. So thank you.
Thanks, guys. It's nice talking to you guys. Shout outs to TMC. Shout outs to Richard Dean. Richard Dean always comes through with awesome interviews. And I love Richard Dean. Richard Dean, thank you. They call me Laycon or Lagos. They want to know who made us. I told you I was made in Lagos. Hey, yo, big boy major. I don't live with you, you my neighbors. I don't owe you favors. I don't eat the fruits of your labor. How's that gonna pay us? Wagwan, guys. My name is Laycon, and big shout out to TMC Media for having me at the interview. Keep watching. Stay tuned. Stay loved. Peace.